Not many supergroups in music history have ever felt truly unquestionable from the moment they were formed, but the Traveling Wilburys were an exception that is nearly impossible to match. A rare gathering of legends who were not only great individually, but also capable of dissolving their egos when playing together. It's hard to imagine any criticism directed at the band's lineup. It consisted of George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, Roy Orbison, and Jeff Lynne. Each brought a musical legacy more than sufficient to guarantee their names would live on forever. When they sang together, the harmony that emerged felt less like the result of rehearsal and more like something organic, as if it had always been meant to exist. As the driving force behind the band's formation, Harrison held an incredibly strong position. He could easily have become the musical center of gravity, especially when it came to guitar work. His reputation had been built from his glory days with the Beatles through to his highly successful solo career. His guitar work on Something showcased extraordinary melodic sensitivity, while My Sweet Lord proved how spirituality and music could merge into something universally resonant. Yet what set Harrison apart from many other great guitarists was his attitude toward the spotlight. He never truly enjoyed being the center of attention. Even during the Beatles era, he often seemed more comfortable stepping slightly into the background, letting the music speak louder than his ego. Within the Traveling Wilburys, this approach became even clearer. It was not about who stood out the most, but about how each element complemented the others. That spirit is strongly felt in songs like Handle with Care, where every member is given balanced space. There is no dominance, only a musical conversation between five friends who just happen to be global icons. However, the band's journey was not entirely without the shadow of loss. The passing of Orbison in 1988 marked an emotional turning point. His distinctive voice, high, dramatic, and deeply expressive, was not only a crucial element of the Wilburys' sound, but also the soul of several of their songs. His absence left a void that technically could be filled, but emotionally could never be replaced. Speculation soon arose. Who could possibly step into that role? Names like Del Shannon or even Bruce Springsteen were often mentioned as ideal candidates. But for Harrison and the others, the idea felt almost inappropriate. Orbison was not just a member, he was part of the band's identity. Replacing him would mean altering that very essence. Even so, the door to collaboration remained open. The Traveling Wilburys were never a rigid band. They always allowed space for other musicians to contribute, as long as it served the song. One of the most interesting examples came during the recording process of She's My Baby. This is where a rather surprising moment occurred. Harrison, a guitarist who had created so many iconic solos, chose not to take the lead part. He realized that the song required a different approach, something more aggressive, faster, and wilder than his typically melodic playing style. The choice fell on Gary Moore, a virtuoso known for his explosive technique and high-energy playing. This decision was far from arbitrary. Harrison understood that Moore possessed a guitar language better suited to the character of the track, an approach closer to the intense traditions of blues rock. The result was almost immediate. Moore reportedly needed only a short time to record the solo, yet its impact was significant. His guitar work added a new dimension to the song, something that might never have been achieved had Harrison insisted on taking that role himself. Interestingly, this decision revealed Harrison's musical maturity. He did not view music as a platform to prove his ability, but as a space for collaboration. Even when he was fully capable of playing something, he still chose what was best for the song, not for himself. Bandmate Tom Petty once recalled how Harrison actually had extraordinary skill in playing complex blues licks, yet rarely showcased it excessively. Instead, he preferred crafting solos that had a distinct voice, something memorable, something listeners could even hum back. In many ways, this approach feels even more relevant in the modern era. Amid a guitar culture that often emphasizes speed and extreme technique, Harrison's philosophy feels refreshingly timeless, that a single, perfectly placed note can mean more than 100 fast ones. In the end, the story of the one Traveling Wilburys song that Harrison did not play on is not a tale of limitation, but of vision. It serves as a reminder that even a legend knows when to step aside, that true greatness is not always found in what we do, but in the wisdom of choosing when not to do it. And perhaps that is where Harrison's greatest legacy lies, not only as a brilliant guitarist, but as a musician who understood that the best music is born from humility, sensitivity, and the courage to place the song above everything else.